Now, a combined missile tracking drill between South Korea, the United States and Japan got underway on Monday, the first trilateral training exercise since Pyongyang's latest ballistic missile launch. That happened a couple of weeks ago. Our Defense Ministry correspondent Kim Hyun-bin with the details.
South Korea, Japan, and the U.S. kicked off a joint ballistic missile tracking exercise to better respond to North Korea's increasing missile threats. This marks the first trilateral exercise since North Korea launched its Hwasong-15 intercontinental ballistic missile late last month. The exercise is taking place amid signs that North Korea might test launch a submarine-launched ballistic missile. According to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff on Monday, the two-day drill is taking place in waters between South Korea and Japan through Tuesday. Each country deployed its Aegis destroyer and will conduct a computer-simulated training to detect and track any ballistic missile fired from North Korea. South Korea deploys Seohae Rusungyong Aegis destroyer. The U.S. deploys Stetham and Decatur, while the Japanese side sent their Chokai Aegis to take part in the drills. This is the sixth combined anti-missile exercise since agreed upon at the 48th Security Consultative Meeting between Seoul and Washington's defense chiefs in 2016. South Korean military says it's keeping a close eye on North Korea's missile facilities.
The Pentagon says the United States is, quote, well-postured to deal with a possible SLBM launch by North Korea. The remarks come amid reports that Pyongyang's submarine-launched ballistic missile program is advancing. A spokesperson for the Pentagon said that while he cannot comment on specific intelligence regarding North Korea, the U.S. is, quote, watching them closely. He added that Washington remains ready with South Korea and Japan to counter any threat from North Korea. And in regards to the ongoing trilateral missile tracking exercise between Seoul, Washington, and Tokyo, the spokesman said it's intended to maintain readiness against North Korea while also making sure that the allies can communicate and employ the necessary capabilities to counter such threat.
In a world of new and evolving threats, the number and sophistication of ballistic missiles available to NATO's potential opponents is constantly increasing. So what if a hostile missile was launched against a NATO nation? In this case, there would be only minutes to react. NATO's ballistic missile defense system uses networked sensors and interceptors that provide layered defense. Firstly, sensors detect the launch and constantly track the missile's flight. As the missile continues on its path, NATO's systems calculate its trajectory, evaluates the threat, and determines the best option for interception. NATO systems also provide warnings on the predicted impact areas to alert national authorities. Once the threat is pinpointed, the best-suited interceptor launches from sea or from land to neutralize the attacking missile, protecting NATO populations, territories, and forces.
Of course, North Korea has been testing missiles with increasing intensity this year. Yesterday, 2 tectonic tremors were detected in North Korea, believed to be aftershocks from its declared H-bomb test in September. Yesterday, we got a glimpse of Kim Jong-un up on Mount Paektu, said to be a sacred place because it was the birthplace of the original North Korean dictator, Kim Il-sung, though in fact he was born in the Soviet Union.
South Korea, the United States and Japan will hold a missile tracking exercise over 2 days in waters near the Korean Peninsula and Japan.
According to South Korea's defense ministry, Japanese self-defense force destroyers will participate alongside the U.S. and South Korean navies. It said the fleets will practice detecting and tracking a virtual missile. The last time the 3 countries conducted a similar exercise was in October. Last month, the North tested what it said was a new type of intercontinental ballistic missile that could reach anywhere in the U.S. Last week, South Korea and the U.S. ran a massive joint aerial drill that included state-of-the-art U.S. stealth fighters and bombers. North Korea's official news agency had described the drill as simulating all-out war.
Tonight, there are new concerns that Kim Jong-un's deadly ambitions go beyond nuclear weapons. South Korean officials and independent weapons experts are growing increasingly concerned that Kim's regime has the intent and capability to develop biological weapons.
They are a weapon of terror in a sense, because we have in our own minds these thoughts about the horror of biologicals, outbreaks of disease. This is something that frightens us.
South Korean government reports, recently cited by Harvard University, say North Korea has 13 types of biological agents which it can weaponize within 10 days. They say anthrax and smallpox are the most likely agents they would deploy.
Anthrax is virtually the ideal biological agent for weapons purposes. It's a bacterium that is very hardy. It can survive all kinds of conditions. It can persist. It is very deadly. You can aerosolize it and spread it around with sprayers.
June 2015, Kim Jong-un tours the Pyongyang Biotechnical Institute. The North Koreans said it was a factory which manufactured pesticides, but some machinery on display raised alarm.
It seems that they have invested a lot in imported equipment that costs them a lot and is, I think, unreasonable for any civilian application.
Equipment like what analysts say are industrial-scale fermenters, which could produce anthrax on a large scale, and other machinery used to convert biological agents into sprayable form. South Koreans would be in the direct line of fire, a threat taken seriously enough that South Korea holds mock drills for WMD attacks. But nearly 38,000 American troops in South Korea could also be hit.
A small aircraft basically overflying them, individuals who are infecting them. There's just no way to guarantee and protect U.S. troops from this.
Officials say there's no evidence North Korea has yet produced a biological weapon. But with the assassination of his half-brother this year, Kim Jong-un has shown the willingness to use his chemical weapons arsenal. And having the capability for a biological attack, with the difficulties in tracing those weapons, experts say, adds another dimension to Kim's threat.
With biologicals, there's a slight element of deniability. There could be an outbreak of a disease in South Korea. It would take us weeks, maybe even longer, to trace it back to North Korea. And during that time, he could kill South Koreans.